I got to be honest with you. I did pick the Thunder to beat the Jazz in 7. I think it's a long series because I love Quinn Snyder. Talent-wise, I like OKC. I'll tell you this, though. Paul George was good in the 9 minutes Westbrook wasn't on the floor. Did you notice that?
He wasn't good in the 24 minutes he played with Westbrook?
He was good. He was exceptional. How about Victor Oladipo? Oh, my God, he's become remarkable.
All right, let me set the record straight.
Let's set the record straight.
Your point is that they were great without Russell Westbrook.
No, my point is this. Why am I the only person that will acknowledge, along with his dynamic greatness, which I've never disputed, guys, this weekend, 4 guys that left and went 4-0 and were arguably the best player in every game. I mean, come on now.
Well, hold up. Paul George scored 24 points in 28 minutes with Westbrook on the floor.
And 16 and 9 without him.
Okay, but he was on the court plenty of times this year without Westbrook, and he didn't do that. So I can't look. We saw Paul George by himself last year, and what'd he do? He got swept in the first round.
Well, who beat him?
We saw him the year before. What'd he do? He got beat in the first round in the East. So come on. Oladipo is great, no doubt, but Westbrook and George, they're actually hitting their stride.
Well, they were very good in the last 6 games.
Yes, and look, I think they are dangerous in the second round against Houston. You saw Houston, and look, I'm a big CP3 fan, but these playoff foibles of his are really getting to be scary.
Be the way, you watched that game yesterday. Let's talk Houston. We haven't talked a ton of them today. I mean, Harden's impossible to guard. So as long as they're going to let him do that step-back travel thing. And by the way, they let Magic Johnson palm the ball, and they let Michael Jordan travel his whole career. So Harden's got to step back. Everybody's ticked off. It's traveling. Give me a break. Magic, I love Magic. Magic palmed the ball his whole career. And Michael Jordan
is traveling all the time.
Yeah,
too,
I know. Listen, the NBA is about stars, not college basketball is about coaches called traveling. In the NBA, if it's close, let a guy travel. My point is this, though, is that Mike D'Antoni's style, that game against Minnesota was a go-either-way game with 1:10 left.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about Chris Paul. He only had 14 points. He was 5 for 14 from the floor, 4 assists. This is one of the greatest point guards we've seen. 4 assists, 6 turnovers. And at the end of the game, you see that this inexplicable full court pass that he throws out of bounds, that could have cost him the game.
Oh, no question. The game was in the balance with 1.5 left.
So I'm not saying I'm picking against Houston yet, but I am watching closely. And if they don't get it together, particularly Chris, then they could be had by the Thunder. They could be had anyway because the Thunder have talent. You got 2 superstars in their prime, in Melo or in Paul George and in Russell, and then you got Melo who played well yesterday, and Steven Adams and Capella's going to be a great matchup. So your worst nightmare could happen on 2 fronts. One, OKC could maybe get to the conference finals in the West, and Philly could get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you know what that means?
What?
A full uniform.
Oh, come on.
76ers, and I want the shorts.
I'm not wearing
want the
those.
Shorts. I don't want them down to your knees. I want them John Stockton type. The type of shorts that Mo Cheeks
let's
wore.
put the brakes on. First of all, let's go back to before the season. I said they don't have enough three-point shooters. Embiid, I don't trust his health. I don't know what's going on with Markelle Fultz, and I love Simmons, but he's a baby. I have since said they added 2-3 shooters at the deadline. Simmons, who I loved, he's like, I'm watching like baby Magic, baby LeBron. Embiid, I still, again, I just worry about, he averaged 30 minutes a game. I want my stars playing 40. But I'm not, you can say what you want about Philadelphia. I am now saying Ben Simmons, nobody predicted Carson Wentz was going to be that good. I'm telling you with Ben Simmons, I am not anti-Philadelphia. There are parts of this team that I still don't trust in huge games. Am I crazy? I feel like I'm watching 60, 70% Magic.
Look, I've said it many times. I think I've said it on this couch. He's the closest thing I've ever seen to Magic Johnson. That includes Penny Hardaway, and it includes LeBron James. Because people are saying he's the next LeBron. He's not. He doesn't score like LeBron. He's not going to score like LeBron. But I said it on this couch. I remember because I got a lot of flack, not from you, but from others. I said when he wasn't playing, right? His first year when he wasn't playing, I said he's a better passer than LeBron James. And he is.
Oh, he is.
He is a true point guard, and he's just like Magic. He's not quite. I mean, Magic was so fancy with his passes. Right. Nobody's like that. But he is fancy, and he does have dog in him, too.
Oh, no. Listen, Andrew Wiggins is talented. No dog.
No.
This is a thing in the NBA. Some guys just don't. They're not like Kobe Bryant would get into a fight as a 19-year-old.
Yep.
Michael Jordan, day one going up against the Pistons. He'd go in the back alley with you. Ben Simmons is tough.
He's got it.
He's tough.
And one of the examples to me of him having a dog in it was their last game when they beat Cleveland. And LeBron had a great game and Simmons had a great game. He was doing fancy, going between his legs, making all these great passes that he didn't have to do. But for him to do that, to show off against LeBron, I'm not saying he was trying to, go at LeBron individually because I know they're close. But the fact that he was willing to do that against LeBron shows me on the court he has no friends.
No friends,
mentors,
no fear.
No friends, no big brothers. I'm coming at you. And look, I still think Cleveland wins the East. Some of it's blind faith in LeBron.
No, I agree with you.
How good he is.
I think they're going to win the series and the East.
Yeah, but Philly is, man.
Listen, man, when you turn the television and the Sixers are on, they play with Simmons so fast and are so long and are so aggressive. Just turn the sound down and watch the Sixers. Their length, their tempo. Like they jump.
Even without Embiid,
they're faster without Embiid.
Yeah.
They're faster. You can. I say this all the time with television. Sometimes turn the sound down. Don't let announcers get in your head. Watch sports without the sound. The Sixers are the longest team in the league right now.
Yeah.
When Covington, Embiid, Simmons, Saric are on the floor, they're the longest team in the league. Okay. This weekend, 3 rookies. Let's talk about, listen, we know Mitchell, we know Simmons, and we know Jason Tatum. But I want to segue to a guy that's not a rookie, but guys like Chris Broussard are telling me, going to wreck this league, Giannis. So Giannis has no Kyrie to face, no Gordon Hayward, Marcus Smart. I mean, basically the Celtics are right now as a franchise, we're not winning this thing. If Giannis can't beat that team, come on now.
No, there's some truth to that. At some point, he's going to have to start winning. Okay?
Yeah.
Not that he's not a great individual player. We know Tracy McGrady never won a playoff series. Okay? But Giannis, they should win this series.
Oh, they got better players.
As much respect as I have for Boston, they play so hard. This next man up, Brad Stevens, is a tremendous coach. But Milwaukee has more talent. And not just Giannis is a superstar, but Chris Middleton, Jabari Parker, who I know didn't play great yesterday, but he's got talent. Malcolm Brogdon, like Eric Bledsoe.
These are real NBA players.
Now, a couple things about them. One, Joe Prunty, I'm not going to rip his coaching, but they are not getting the most out of that roster right now.
I don't think that's even disputable.
Right? And number 2, they do have a lot of guys that do the same thing. So that's part of it, too. I think they're too Giannis-centric at times.
Yeah.
So, but to your point, they should win this series. And next year, I think Giannis leaves the honeymoon period. There's a honeymoon period, right, where you just put up numbers, you establish yourself as a superstar. We don't care if you win yet.
Okay.
Next year, and maybe some would say this year, you better start winning something.
They just did a 15-minute fluff piece on 60 Minutes. Can you beat the Celtics without Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving, and Marcus Smart? Can you win this series?
I hear you.
Okay. By the way, I'm watching the lack of energy yesterday for the Cavs. What if LeBron sort of checked out? I said 5 months ago, I think it's going to be his lost season. Jordan had one. Brady got hurt.
When was Jordan's?
He got hurt. It's kind of lost. In the history of LeBron's career, in the history of MJ's career, it's the one year we don't talk about. It's a lost season. Andrew Luck last year for the Colts. It's a lost season. Think he's maybe checked out a little bit?
I hope not. I have too much respect for LeBron as a player and person to think he's checked out.
Listen, his stats are still good.
No, but that's not a good look if you check out. Period. Like, okay, you're not going to win a championship, But you got to go out there and fight for it, especially if you're the best player in the world and people fancy you as maybe the GOAT.
But what did you see yesterday?
I saw at the beginning, I think that he was trying to get his teammates involved early.
No question about that.
Because they hadn't, that was a starting lineup, and I think this is a knock against Ty Lue. That was a starting lineup that had not started a game together.
And by the way, Joe Varden was on our show Friday saying, like, LeBron doesn't like to practice anymore. Like, he's been in this league 15 years. He don't want to practice a ton.
I get that, and I think that's fair. I mean, as a 15th year, we know Bill Russell didn't practice a lot. Look, he's not the only one. So I think he's earned that at this point. But I think he was trying to get them involved. They were missing some shots, and next thing you know, they're down huge. Now, he should have taken over, and I think game 2, he needs to come out and set the tone and punch Indiana in the face right away with a huge first quarter. But LeBron, look, I loved what I heard from Victor Oladipo at the end of the game.
What?
We came here to win. We know about LeBron. We know about their team, but we believe we can win. We came here to win. That's the attitude I want from a player, and that's the attitude I think I should get from LeBron James. We can win. He's got to be looking at this, Colin, like Golden State's banged up. Houston, I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of OKC. Kawhi Leonard's not there. He's got to be looking at this like we can win it. I don't care who you playing. I played on a bad college basketball team, and I never went out there thinking we couldn't win.
Well, that's why they called you the baby LeBron.
I mean, 10 minutes in, we're down by 20, but I thought at the beginning of the game we could win, and I think the best player in the world thinks that too.
Chris Broussard, good seeing you, bud.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.